Hello, welcome to chapter 2 of the Art and Business course right here at the bapromusic.com website. So, second chapter, now we will talk about social media and how musicians should be using social media and how they shouldn't. So, I would like to separate this according to each platform that I use to expand, my brand and my business. Let's start with YouTube. YouTube for me is actually quite interesting because it allows for a lot of different content for free. So that's a very important component of this, for free. So this is all about creating organic followings, not paid for now. We will address paid on chapter 4 or 5, but YouTube for me, it's become more and more useful because effectively I use it in many more ways than what I used to. So for example, one thing that I started doing was I started vlogging. So my vlogs are not necessarily vlogs as in the constant like daily vlogging. I don't do daily vlogging anymore. I used to. Now my vlogs are more like documentaries on ideas and concepts that I like to talk about. So there's that, and it really exposes who you are, at least your professional persona, to everyone, and that's a great way of getting people to know you, getting people to trust you, and getting people to believe in your work. The other thing, of course, that you can do with YouTube is behind the scenes videos. For example, you can go live and just show people, you rehearsing with your band, or you can show people you teaching, a new student. Maybe don't show the student's face though, but you get my point. You can show behind the scenes stuff. Everyone loves to be an insider, so take advantage of that. Make people feel part of your world, and trust me, they will become more and more comfortable with who you are, how you speak, what you believe in, everything, and ultimately your brand, which is you. So the other thing that I like to do with YouTube as well is document great big events in my life. For example, if you're gonna play a massive gig, make a little movie about it. Become creative. We are artists for a reason. We are creative people. I believe that we've become lazy lately, and when I say that, I don't mean that in a bad way, but reality is, why aren't we using our creativity in many more ways than just music is beyond my understanding. So I challenge you, I dare you to come up with your own movies, your own ads, your own documentaries, your own vlogs, your own everything, your own TV show, if you will. Why not? Why not a TV show on YouTube? Because YouTube is the new TV. On, I don't know, gear. You can review gear. That's very, very acceptable. A TV show on traveling around wherever you are from and playing on all these different venues and the reality behind being on the road, all that stuff. I would watch that. It sounds pretty cool to me. If you do it right, you can create a massive following because honesty sells. Okay, another social media platform that I enjoy and I do use a lot is Facebook. Now Facebook, this is quite a monster, and we'll have to break it down to many different layers. So first and foremost, your personal profile. How should you use it? I would strongly advise, and if you watch the intro to this course, you saw me talking about how a lot of people don't use their social media platforms properly, and they end up actually burning a bunch of bridges just out of being negligent. So don't be. Number one, your own personal profile. So let's not address Facebook pages yet. Let's just talk about your own profile, the one you use to add all your friends, the one you use to comment on all pictures of naked ladies in the summer. I don't know. Whatever you do, don't do it. Don't do that. Okay, so my bottom line here is use your profile as if it were your Facebook page. Don't create a separation. A lot of people feel kind of, I don't know, they feel bad about not using social media to be silly. Really? You don't have real life? Don't feel bad about that. Use your social media to promote your work. Why would you waste the chance, the opportunity to promote your stuff, your work, your music, your art to billions of people, billions with a B, and instead you waste all that audience for free? This audience is on Facebook for free for you to abuse and use and promote your stuff to, and instead you're posting, you know, pictures of you drunk, or you're commenting flirty, you know, remarks on pictures of girls. Don't do that. Alright, so let's get serious. If you wanna be taken seriously in the business, in the industry, you have to take yourself seriously. This is very important. If you go around and you look at most professionals' Facebook profiles, they're not messing around. They barely post anything personal. It's very rare, and when they do, it's more about the lifestyle and being on the road and stuff like that. So they're not necessarily always selling, and that's a very important thing to bear in mind though. Don't be always selling. Provide value, but always be promoting, okay? Always be your professional persona. Don't waste platform, okay? There is no need for you to be silly on Facebook and then you are serious on your Facebook page, because that's what I hear a lot. Some guys go like, oh yeah, my profile is just for me and my friends, and then my Facebook page is what I actually use to sell my stuff. Guess what? If I find your Facebook page, it won't be difficult for me to find your Facebook profile. So if you're posting a bunch of crap, I'm done with you, unless it's funny crap. But if it's just crap, yeah, no, I don't trust you anymore, because now it feels like you are these two people, and you know, be one person. Now, Facebook groups. Facebook groups are a great way to network with other people, but not only that, it's a great way to promote your stuff. Not only because it's more targeted, and this is important, so if you are looking for a specific kind of audience, Facebook groups is the way to go. Now you're not selling to your friends anymore. Now you're gonna go, you literally can type in the market that you want to look for. You push enter and boom, Facebook gives you a bunch of groups where that audience lives and communicates and shares their own stuff. So you go there, very politely, provide value, sell. Okay? Facebook groups, use them. Don't be spammy, but use them. Now, Facebook pages. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting because we can do a lot of stuff with these. First of all, of course, create a Facebook page. Of course. Go ahead, create your Facebook page, pick a cover photo. Now Facebook is releasing also video covers, which is super cool, super neat. And we will talk about how to create some really cool videos to promote your stuff as well. You know, like a good profile picture, nothing silly. No logos, by the way, no logos, unless unless you're promoting a business that is a faceless business. But even then, if it's about your personal brand, don't use any logos. Go and find someone who can take a good headshot of you and use that. Okay? Now, start creating content. If I were you, I would grab a notebook like this, and I'll start writing down what I want to publish and when. We will also talk about automation, so you can learn how to automate your posts so you don't need to be on Facebook all the time. Sounds good, right? Now, when and how often should you post? It depends on where you are, it depends on your audience, but I would say that at least 3 times a day you should post something. Nothing necessarily too busy. In other words, if you're gonna post like a long post with a lot of text, and sometimes I do that once a day, and then the other 2 posts, keep them like basic and simple, like pictures or a little video. Also, I would recommend that you use the go live features on Facebook pages, because nowadays you can use your Facebook page to attract more audience by going live. Again, create your own TV show. See, it's the idea here is that you provide value to your audience, and your audience finds you and finds your stuff valuable. Boom, they will buy. Okay, and that's that for Facebook. But let's talk about Instagram. Instagram is a platform that I've been using recently more and more, and I'm starting to understand how to really capitalize on it. So, first things first, Instagram is a great platform to promote your work if you are a musician, if you go on tour, if you're doing session work, if you're doing teaching like I do. It's a great platform, and I'll tell you why. It's all about the story, and I don't just mean Instagram stories, but we will talk about that, but I mean the story that you can tell through images. And that's a great way to promote your work, because it's visual, it's easy to consume, it's easy to follow, and it's easy to relate to. Remember, on Instagram everyone's lives are great, and there's something to that. There's a business model there. Think about it. If you go out and you're touring and you're playing in a really nice by the sea or by the river kind of venue, you take a picture, people see it on Instagram, and they will assume that you are successful. If not successful, they at least will assume that you're living a great lifestyle. If you're a teacher and you just hosted a recital and all your students are on stage and it just looks busy and crowded, you take a picture, you put it on Instagram, people will think and believe, and factually would be correct, that your school is busy and full of students. If you are a session musician and you want to get more work, you can post videos on Instagram of you playing along to tracks, playing along to music, playing along to a click, which kind of showcases exactly your strengths. Instagram is great because it's very organized, it's very neat, and ultimately it's great because everyone is there. So let's talk about Instagram in a more practical way. Alright, so first and foremost, let's talk about what you can do with Instagram. You can grow your audience, of course, and remember, your audience is in fact your market. So Instagram is a great way nowadays to build your audience, grow your market, and of course monetize them. But what you can also do, and it's important, and we will talk about this more in depth later on, is that you can build an email list, and I will explain you exactly how you can do that in a minute. You can also sell products, so that's if you have merchandise, for example, you can sell it through Instagram. You can sell tickets to your gigs. So if you are a performer, a live performer, and you tour a lot and you gig a lot, you can use Instagram to push those sales. You can connect to brands. So for example, if you are looking for endorsements, Instagram might be a great way for you to invest a little bit more time, or might be a great platform for you to invest a bit more time and connect to those companies. You can also, of course, connect with other musicians. So that's important because, the larger your network is, the larger your reputation or your reach will be. Remember, many times it's not just what you know, it's also who you know, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, let's talk strategies. I mentioned earlier the idea of creating an email list. First of all, why is that important? Email marketing is fundamental when it comes to promoting or building a personal or business brand. Email marketing is incredibly effective But it can only be effective if you do have the contacts in your email list. Your email list can start very small, it can be 50 people, it's all good, but you have to be providing value. So Instagram is a great way to get those contacts in, so then you can use email market afterwards. So how can you do that? First of all, you must have a website. It can be the most basic landing page ever. I will also talk about how you can create that, but you need the website, because that's where you're gonna get the leads from. So then you need to create an opt-in page in your website, okay? So that's going to be a landing page that's going to ask for some people's email addresses, and in exchange you send maybe a free song, an ebook. If you are an educator, that's what I do a lot. I offer ebooks. You can give them whatever the hell you want, but you have to provide value. So people opt in, they leave their email addresses with you. Boom, they are now in the email list, and then you can apply the email marketing techniques that we will discuss afterwards to build and to grow your sales. Very important is that you stay relatable and inspiring. Don't go all salesy on people. I know that most of you who are watching this hate sales anyway, so you might already be scratching the back of your heads, thinking like, I don't want to be doing this, it sounds very salesy. Don't be salesy at all. What I say is that create a bunch of content, which is what we do as musicians. So all I'm asking is that you become a little bit more diverse and creative with your material. So don't just focus on writing songs, find ways of putting them out there. So video is a great way, Instagram is a great way, and of course eventually you will have a website that will also help you push those sales up. Okay, so let's also talk about the visual presentation of your Instagram page. I would definitely, again, and I'm gonna say this again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it is fundamental. I will remind you, do not use your Instagram page as your personal page. It can look like it, but it needs to be more strategic than that. So make sure that your visual layout is coherent. You don't wanna have like a bunch of purple pictures and then a picture there that is pink. Like try to have some sort of color scheme. If not a color scheme, a theme. So maybe every 2 days or every 2 posts post something, an inspirational quote, for example, and every 2 posts you post a picture or a video, something like that. Make sure you plan your posting schedule. Don't just post randomly, make sure you know when you do things, because that makes it a lot easier for you to then track and tweak and improve on. One great app that you can use, that I use to schedule your posts, and then you can track when the best times to post are and all that stuff, is called Later. So this is an app called Later. Check it out. Now, hashtags. Everybody knows hashtags are the thing when it comes to Instagram, and they really are, because they make your content searchable, they make your content findable. So I would advise that you use a website called all-hashtag.com, and here you can just type in the content or kind of the subject of your post, let's say music education, and then that website gives you a gazillion hashtags associated to that topic that you can use and then make it even more findable. So if you are trying to produce something viral, people need to find it. Now I'm talking about automating your posting and all that jazz, but listen to me, do engage with your audience. Don't just go all robot on how you interact with social media and people on social media. Do interact with them, do take some time every day to respond to comments, to engage with them. So do that, don't become a machine. And those are in fact my 2 cents when it comes to Instagram. So let's move on. Now, of course, there's a bunch of other social media platforms that you can use that can be beneficial for you. Don't stay, limited to Facebook, Instagram, or even Twitter. Just make sure you push yourself and explore yourself make sure you push yourself and explore other options. For instance, there's a platform that I've been exploring every now and then, trying to understand how it works a little bit better and how I can make it work a little bit better, called Medium, which is for people like me who write. So it allows you to write blogs, articles, whatever. I've been exploring with, like I said, Instagram. I'm a big Facebook fan because of it's very complete, it's very robust. Snapchat, not so much, but do try. I downloaded the app, I kind of tried it, I explored it a little bit, didn't quite understand, maybe that's my fault, but I didn't quite understand how it could benefit someone like me with my intention. But it's all down to that, and that's the word. Intention. What's your intention? What's your goal when you use social media, when it comes to your personal brand? Are you trying to build a following? Are you trying to be very niche oriented, or do you want to go, you know, I'm the Joe for the masses? Who are you? You need to define a goal. You can't reach a goal that you haven't set. So go and set your goal and then build a strategy that will allow you to get there. So now let's talk about how to create a vlog and abuse YouTube.
Brian Little.